Hi everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Ian is a Weirdo. So today, I previously had called this the Summer of Whips. I really want to get down on the number of whips that I have going. If you don't know what a whip is, it stands for work in progress. If you're someone like me who has ADHD, or you just tend to kind of, go on and forget about what you're working on. This is a problem. We all have different numbers of whips that we can tolerate. And for me, that number is unfortunately way too freaking high. So I'm just going to need no judgment here. You can be like, you can think all you want, whatever you want, but just keep in mind that it's not particularly helpful to someone with ADHD to tell them that they have too many whips, that they need to focus on things, because obviously I try, it's very hard, and then like all of a sudden you have this event coming up, you need to make all these things, and it just doesn't really help anyone to say things like that. And I really hope that I won't have to sit here and defend myself, but this is YouTube and people are people. So I'm going to try to stay in a positive mood. And there are a lot of things that I do finish. It's not like I don't finish anything, but a lot of these, they just haven't been finished for one reason or another. Usually another project comes along that has a shorter deadline that I need to get to. So, sorry, that makes me think that I need to check something real quick. I don't know. I had a panic moment. I was like, do I have an Etsy order that I haven't done? Okay, so first I'm going to, like, some of these are like projects that I started and then I ran into a problem and I didn't have time to fix it because I needed to do other things, stuff like that. So other ones I haven't finished for one reason or another. There's another project that I have, but I don't really want to talk about that. Just know that there's another project not pictured. There's a couple projects not pictured for one reason or another. So let's get started. We're just going to go through it. So my first attempt at my Pride top this year was going to be using my handmade yarn. And I really like the idea of doing it in rainbow. However, the product just didn't turn out like I wanted to. So I'm going to actually frog all of this and break it up into the sections that I dyed. So this is the top. There's got one sleeve partially finished. And then it just didn't read like I wanted it to. So I'm just going to frog this and get it to a point where I can work with it, do something with this yarn like I really want to, and that's going to be okay. So that is obviously something that I want to frog and repurpose into a new project. So the next is my Pride top round 2. Now I did this and this is my first time doing color changes. I was really happy with it, but these 3 rows for the teeth took so much brain power and so much practice and just a lot. And it just took hours and hours just to get 3 rows done. And then I had a ton of ends to sew in. So right now I'm currently working on the back, and then I'm probably going to put sleeves on it. But we'll see. But I am happy with the way this turned out. It just looks really cool. The black is Bernat Softy Cotton, which is a cotton acrylic mix, and the skull is Lion Brand ice cream yarn in the color Cake Batter, which is perfect trans pride colors. So I was really happy with how that's been turning out. So let's get into some earlier whips. I didn't want to do this at another time. I know Twisted Fiber Friends is on, and so I'm not trying to distract from them at all, but I just needed to go through all my whips. Again, if you think that I have too many whips, that's okay. I know I do. it's a problem. But we've got things that we need to work on. So this right here is the start of the herringbone hexagon cardigan by Bag a Day, and it's really beautiful. I use this, I believe it's the gray tones Caron 1 pound. I was really happy with it until I got here and realized that my hexagon has 5 sides, therefore it's not a hexagon. So, and my mistake is right here. Like here's the center, and here's my mistake. So I would frog it entirely and start over again. And I just didn't have time for that. So I was like, you know what? We'll just put that aside for later. And I did, and then I never picked it back up. So the next project, this is something that I started, and I wanted to just do kind of like a little example of it when I started doing work for my fundraiser for Alzheimer's research that I did last year or the year before. So this is the popcorn garland using Bernat blanket yarn that I hand dyed to be a little bit more popcorny, buttery yellow. It's just a subtle thing, but I also put beads in it, and I haven't loved the beads, if I'm being totally honest. It's like, do I keep the beads in even though I don't love them? I think once they're strung up on like a tree or something, I feel like it would look a lot better. But I did pre-string some beads onto the yarn, and then I have the yarn balled up from when I hand dyed it. So so I didn't finish this. I just got, let's see, it's about 2 yards in. So I didn't make a lot of progress, and this is just something I did because growing up with my grandma, this is like stringing actual popcorn, like legitimate popcorn, with a needle and thread onto the tree was something that we did during the holidays, and I wanted to do a lot of, for me, irreverent things that I did with my grandma for the Alzheimer's awareness fundraiser that I did. So for me, this was really important to do, but I more so wanted to show it. But I do think it would be fun to have as a annual decoration that we put on the tree, and just something that I can always have to remember my grandma by. But because there was so much going on then, I just didn't really make much progress. So that's that. Here I am making a rainbow cat ear hat. By the time it's done, this trend will probably be done as well. I'm using the rainbow yarn from Ice Yarns, and it's legitimately, the name of the yarn is rainbow, and the color is, sometimes they don't list the color. Okay. It's a premium acrylic 3-weight, 100 grams. I don't even have the number on here, so I do have quite a few skeins of this. But it's a really pretty yarn. I have used this before for the Kumihimo, what is it? The Japanese knot bag. Sorry, my brain's like not working. I have used it for the Japanese knot bag, but I wanted to use it for a little rainbow cat hat, and I just haven't made much progress on that. For this, I'm using a 4.5 millimeter hook. So we're just going to go through the whips that I have, and I try to keep my projects relatively-ish organized. Some of them, the ones that are older are just like shoved in a bag or like a box, but the newer ones I do keep kind of separate. Because I use like Dollar Tree baskets all the time to keep my projects separate. So this one, now I'm using Big Twist value in the slime green and the black, and I'm actually making a kilt. Now, to make my kilt, how I wanted to do it was first make my own tartan fabric. Now, I didn't think about this till after the fact, but could I have used some plan pooling yarn and done it that way? Absolutely. However, did I do that? No. So I'm going to make this this make tartan by making a mesh and then sewing through the mesh using using chains, and then I'm going to do some pleats. Actually, the pleats will come before the mesh part, and then so the pleats will be folded pleats. They will not be box pleats, even though I first thought box pleats would look really cute, but box pleats aren't like a traditional kilt style. And then it's gonna have a lot of. It's just gonna be a cool project for me. This is a very like cyberpunk-esque type of thing, and I just thought the colors were really neat, so I really wanted to give that a try, and try to make my own kilt because there aren't really any patterns for that. Also in the vein of really bright colors, so way back in the day, I was on the hunt for neon colors, and there just weren't a lot of options. So I picked a bunch of Red Heart, Super Saver, as close to neons that I could find, and made granny squares out of them. They're not the best granny squares. I think I could probably do a better job now, but also I really hate making granny squares. They are not fun for me. I don't have a good time. It's just not fun, and honestly, looking at these, they look really bad. They look so bad. So I think that I could probably fashion them into something. I was planning on making like a neon rainbow blanket, but after looking at them, seeing them after so long, I think it would be really great to just do something different with them. Maybe I can repurpose them, even though they're not great granny squares. They're still probably good for something. So this is years ago that I started that whip. So this was inspired by this next project was inspired by a hat that I saw. I'm finding so many notions. I'm like, I gotta keep all these notions. This is where all of my sewing needles and everything have gone. But let's see. So I saw this hat, and it was ribbed, but it had a rainbow prism on it, and I thought that was so cute. Now, a lot of the ribbed hats that a lot of us have done or seen, they have the same ribbing throughout the whole project, and I just didn't like how it clustered up at the top. So this particular pattern does half double crochet, and then once you get up into the top, it does slip stitches. So it's a lot less to compact up at the top so that you don't have as much bulk, and then it will have a nice brim to it. So something like that, and it just looks really cool. So I did a trans one. I did a it's kind of like a medium gray, and I'm super excited about that. Let's see what size hook I used. I used an H hook. Some of the projects I do have hooks with it, which explains why I can't find any of my hooks, but some of them I do not. Now this one's going to be a little bit of a pain in the ass to get out, but last year, maybe the year before, I saw Alt Knots doing a bunch of borders on their on just pieces of fleece that they got from Joann Fabric for Halloween, and I was like, that's a great idea because you don't have to make a whole blanket, you just have to do the border. So I was thinking about what kind of border I wanted to do, and then the border I settled on was actually from Nastasia, and it is kind of like loops of chains, but you alternate the colors so you get this nice, cool piece on the end. To get the holes in it, I used a perforated a perforated blade on my rotary cutter because I sew, so I just got the blade and then I popped that in and I just cut through it, and so then I didn't have to poke through the fabric with my hook. All I had to do was go in the already perforated hole, and because it's fleece, it will not fray. So yeah, so that's what I've done, but you can see that I haven't made a lot of progress on it, and it does end up getting quite tangled, so it's a little bit of a pain in the ass just to keep your yarn in going, you know, not getting tangled and stuff like that. But this is a really cute pattern. It's pink, and like light pink was all the rage of all of the Halloween fabrics last year, I guess. We'll just say it was last year. And so a lot of these things, but it has snakes on it, palmistry, you know, poison bottle skulls. It's just really cool. I fell in love with the fabric. I even accidentally bought it in a fleece. Wait, what is that? So that is fleece. Like a flannel. It was like a flannel material. I don't know. Anyways, it frayed. So as the moment I got it, I was like, I ordered the wrong thing. I don't know what things are called. So I'm actually using Lion Brand anti-pilling acrylic in the color pumpkin, white, and black. Okay. Totally did not real. Oh, this is something I'm making for a friend. I am basically making a cowl. This is the original Eco Cozy from Michaels. They did redo the formulation, and I do not like it at all. Which is really sad because this is like some of my favorite yarn I've ever used. But I think I'm using it in the color like cream and gray, and it's really pretty. It's a bag-a-day pattern that I found a million years ago, and I'm obsessed with. The next project is also from the Alzheimer's awareness fundraiser. So this one is the my awareness ribbon hat pattern. Because it's kind of in the middle of working, it doesn't really look like a whole lot of anything. But like a royal purple is the Alzheimer's awareness color. So to help it stand out for the contrasting color, I did pick this light purple that has sparkle to it. Can you see that? It's got this iridescent sparkle to it. It's a really magical color, and I really do like this pattern. I sell this pattern on my Etsy if you wanted to check it out. But it's a cool pattern because it allows you to make any awareness ribbon hat. So you can do breast cancer awareness, prostate cancer awareness, any kind of awareness that you want to do. You could absolutely do this with this ribbon hat pattern. And it's actually fairly easy. It was inspired by a scarf that Nastasia does. I just took it and put it in the round, and then I also put a couple steps to give it a backdrop so that it wouldn't just be like a mesh top, that would actually have like a full coverage. And then this next project is something that I haven't made progress on in a while. It is a mosaic. This is by Sixel Designs. It is, I believe it's called just like eyes or something like that. I'm not sure, but it's a really cool pattern. I was going to make a throw pillow out of it, like a rectangular throw pillow. As you can see, it's very cute. It's fairly easy. I mean, I have to say, if I do it, it's probably fairly easy just because I'm not the most skilled crocheter, but this was my first time doing mosaic crochet, so there are probably things that I could do better, obviously, but I'm not pressed about it. I'm super happy with how it looks. I think these colors are really similar to what they used in their version of the pattern, but yeah, so I really like it. Let me put all this fun stuff up. and then we'll move on to the next whips. I know I have so many whips. You don't have to remind me. And if I sound like defensive of it, it's not that I'm embarrassed about the number of whips I have. Hi, Madeline. The colors are for Alzheimer's awareness. Yes, exactly. So I did a Alzheimer's awareness fundraiser. I believe it was last year, maybe it was the year before. And so when I did the purple hat, I made it specifically for Alzheimer's awareness, which is a royal purple. And so I did those colors specifically for Alzheimer's awareness. And then I just did the light purple to to have a contrasting color, because that's what the pattern I wrote calls for. You could use any color to contrast it with. Could be white, could be black, could be whatever. It doesn't matter. But for me, I thought that the sparkly light purple was really nice against the like royal purple. So that's what I used. Okay, so the next project. So I have a doll that I'm working on. She's looked a little bit better before, but right now she's just hanging on. How many tips do you have? I finally got down from 1 to 6. So I've been making this video for about 22 minutes, and I've been going through all my whips. I believe I've already gone through maybe like 10, and I still have at least 10 to go. So I have a lot of whips. I'd like to blame at least part of it on having ADHD. It is really hard to stay focused, and I really do try to not let my whips pile up. So the summer of whips is me trying to get as much done as I possibly can. So I talked about my pride tops, I've talked about some Halloween projects, I've talked about projects that I did for the Alzheimer's awareness, different patterns that I'm trying to write. So this is a doll I'm making. I still have a lot of progress to do, and I'm writing a pattern for it right now. Once the pattern is done, I'm going to have some testers, and the people who I know, probably the first tester call I do are going to be people I know through my Facebook group. So if you're on Facebook, you want to join my Facebook group, you want to be a tester, anything like that, or you just want to show off what you're working on just because it's a nice group of people, you can always check us out. We're Army of Weirdos on Facebook, and there are a couple groups with the same name. We're the one with the green rectangular pillow that says fuck. There are instructions on how to find us in the description. So the next one, and so this doesn't look like much at all because I've had to rewrite it a couple times, and I'm currently in the process of rewriting it. I put it on hold for Pride, but I really want to make a jockstrap pattern because I was having a problem with, so I have one pattern that I purchased, and the problem that I'm having is that I'm just not seeing a lot of ways to make it, to customize it in a way that like could be visually like fun. Like you could do like, the one that I have is kind of shaped like a bra cup. How you basically like crochet a chain, and then you do like your singles or whatever you do around it on both sides, and then you do another row and you increase at the top. Depressions, I understand. ADHD, yeah, thank you. And I'm still trying to get my whips down. It's going to be a constant process, but at least like I just want to like, someone asked how many whips I had last time I did the summer of whips, and I was just like, you know what, I should actually like look, because I haven't looked in a while, and I think it's just gotten worse. Some things I've gotten done from those original whips, and then other things I still haven't made any additional progress on. Yeah, depression is a bitch. I have bipolar disorder, so you don't have to tell me about that. I'm really sorry that you deal with that, but you have this is a safe place to talk about whatever you need to talk about. Facebook is a safe place to talk about whatever you need to talk about, if you ever want to talk about it. you don't have to. I just want to let you know that you're always welcome to talk about that, because none of us are going to come on here and say that you're like that you're not allowed to feel those things that those conditions can cause. So those are the two in there. Okay, so this is my big bag of whips. There are a lot of things in here. Some of them are supposed to be kind of over time, and then other ones just, I don't know. Hey, Daphne, welcome in. I'm all right. Ish. We'll see. So this is the starting of a mood throw. I started this, I think, like 2 years ago. So you can see clearly I have not kept up with it. I know that temperature blankets are a big thing, and a lot of people give up on them. For me, I just wanted to do something that whenever I felt like I was in a mood that I wanted to categorize, I tried to keep in a habit of doing it every day, but it kind of fell out of it. Anxiety and other disorders are real. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. You will not have anyone doubting that here. So I created a chart for different moods that I'm in, and they scale from very depressed to manic. And then I have a rainbow color here because I didn't quite know how I was feeling, and I just felt like that's what I wanted to do. This is a mosaic blanket, so it looks like this on the back. But here, you can see that it's got kind of like a black stripe that looks like it's going through it. And it's a very simple, you alternate between doing your single crochet and doing a drop down double crochet. If you've done any mosaic crochet, this is probably the easiest pattern you could possibly do. Every row you alternate which one you do first, but you're just going to do the same pattern over and over and over again. Very simple to do, and it looks really nice. And then after a while, you can have a blanket that will talk about how you feel. So this was my mood blanket. So next is a really simple little project. I was going to do a fidget around a hairband. This is the color Red Heart Favorite Stripe. It's a really pretty rainbow. Whenever I see it in store, I always have my doubts, but every time I see it worked up, I'm like, wow, that's really pretty yarn. So it's a great rainbow, and this is going to be a really simple project once I just do it. This is a hat that I made, and I don't know what the hell happened. If I'm being honest, I don't know. So it looks like it might be like an extended single crochet or something like that. I think I followed a pattern by Bag a Day, but then I don't know. I think my brain glitched out, and like it's got a corner. Like it's the hat has a corner, and I don't know why. So I'm gonna frog at least part of it, because I'm just really, really not happy with it. I hate this. What is this? But like I said, like Bag a Day makes great patterns, so it's definitely on me that this didn't work out. But why it didn't work out, it's a mystery. So I have to frog this. Oh, the thing I tried to not talk about is here. So I was gonna crochet a bouquet of flowers. So these were gonna be magnolia leaves. I didn't get very far in that. So here we have a Lost Souls shawl. So this is progress on that. This is using the Caron Cloud Cakes. I believe the color name is like raspberry or something like that. I can't tell if the drapiness and fuzziness of the fabric are really cool and will make a nice shawl, or if I need to do a different project with this yarn. I have two skeins of this color, It's so freaking soft. The cloud cakes are just tremendously soft. Sometimes that almost makes it harder to work with. So I don't quite know if I want to keep this as is. So I've kind of put this on the back burner because I don't know. Okay, so this project's actually almost done. So I don't know if y'all are nerds or not, but actually some of them are embroidered, some of them are not. So, when people do tabletop gaming, there's other reasons why they might do it. They use different dice to roll for certain things. I have a friend who is also into tabletop gaming. When he had his kid, I was going to make a plushie of a D20 or a 20-sided die. And so I hand embroidered numbers on this, and I was going to make like a dice pillow. So you can see here that I have this. So I have purple and then like a nice cream color. So I have the 20 triangles done because all of the sides are a triangle. Now I've seen people join them different ways, and I just haven't quite figured out what what would be the best way for me to join them, because the ways that you join them can add so much bulk or deform the shape quite a bit. And I feel like if I just join them how I've seen other people join them, it just kind of becomes a ball, whereas it would be really nice to get some angular shapes on them. So I'm thinking potentially like if I did something similar to a mattress stitch or something, but if I did it in the back loop only, so that it would still kind of curve and get that angle. I don't know. I'm still working on it mentally. Something I will not show on camera. I'm not going to work on this blanket. Emotionally, I cannot work on this blanket. I have personal reasons, or it's a poncho. But I was making something for a friend, and just due to some circumstances, I am not going to be making any progress on this, just based on superstition. I don't know. Yeah, it's there. Other projects I have. So this is, oh my gosh, I've had this for so long. Probably one of my first projects that I've done, that I started to do when I started knitting again, is I worked on this crochet chevron blanket. Not crochet, sorry, knit. So when I started to knit again, so I got 3 different shades of purple and then a cream, and it's really pretty, and I do like it a lot, but I hate knitting. It's something that I can do, but I don't love it, and I'm slow, and the idea of just making something for, like, this is supposed to be a lap band, it would take me years to get that done, so just a super hard pass on that. This is a Progress Pride flag. There's something going on with the counts that I just don't understand. I've tried so hard to figure out this. Actually, I think that I made a lot of progress, and I think I frogged some of the blue, all of the green, because the striping and the chevron just wasn't working out. I think knowing now what I do about color changes, I do think I could get cleaner color changes. So it might be worth just frogging the whole thing. But right now, I just it seems like a lot of work to make a flag that I could buy for $5 off of Amazon. You know what I mean? Okay, so let's see. So this is knitting my first sweater. Almost done. Been working on it for a month. Wow, that's amazing. Oh, I would love to see your progress on your sweater, but that is incredible. I've never even made a sweater. I've I think I've started ones, but I've never made that much progress. So this was going to be a little Ninja Turtle. When I started learning amigurumi, this is how I learned. So it was going to be a little Ninja Turtle, and I clearly didn't make it that far. This is a really pretty green. This, I think it's spring green from Red Heart Super Saver. We're getting some like really obscure, like way long ago projects. So here is another knitting project, and this is what I was going to make my mother-in-law. And I don't, I know what I was thinking because I found these colors and I really thought that they looked very like Starry Night. And I started just kind of doing kind of random color changes. And then if you look at the back, like it's just kind of not, things aren't very clean. And I do love the colors. I think they work up really wonderfully. They're all Caroline Simply Soft. If you know me, you know that I used to be quite obsessed with Caroline Simply Soft. This was going to be a scarf, and I was going to knit it. But I think just like looking at it and knowing myself, and also like all of these ends, I'm not gonna want to sew in all these ends. And like because it's a gift, I wouldn't want to just like give it away with the ends not sewn in. So for me, I think this is gonna be a frog, just to try to salvage the yarn in some way that makes sense. Just two more. I think these are most of them. It only took me like 40 minutes. So this is a cowl I made my wife. This is just a granny stitch. So I don't know why it took me as long as it didn't really take that long, but I think I used a Caron, one of the Caron cakes, but it's huge. I don't know what hook size I must have used. It must have been like 7. I don't even have a 7. They use like a 9mm. Like, I don't know. This is huge, but it's supposed to be like a cowl. I hate it. I hate it. This is supposed to be for my wife. The color changes are so abrupt. It's supposed to be like one of those ombre cakes. Um, I hate it. I'm probably gonna frog it, attach it back to the cake, and then try to figure out something else to do with it. Anything else, because this it's just not giving fashion. Just not giving fashion. Because originally, all I needed to do was add buttons, but I hate it. If I gave it to my wife, she would be like, "Hey," and then it would never be worn. And not that she would have to wear it, but like, it's just not. It's not cute. I don't know. I don't know what was going on there. And then this, I believe, is a hat. Yes. So this is almost a completed hat. This is one of the slouchy hats that I made a lot in the beginning of my crochet work. Actually, how I learned how to crochet was on this pattern. And so it's very easy. All you do is make a ribbed brim, and then you do, I guess these are trebles. I'm not sure. They look like trebles. Although I thought I remembered them being doubles. Who knows? Whips for the items. Thank you. I hope I do too, and hopefully you all can give me inspiration. You always do. I have a lot of patterns. I'm planning to do a video where I post all of the free patterns that I've found and just like share them with everyone. I think that the easiest, because some of them are like downloads, and I know I can upload files onto Facebook on the Army of Weirdos thing. I feel a little bit weird for patterns that I don't own because even though they will be credited and everything like that, it feels like kind of like distributing someone else's stuff. You know what I mean? So I'll have to figure that out and the best way to do that. But I have so many patterns that I've been dying to do. Like on my phone, like I think I have like on my browser on my phone, I think I have like 50 tabs open, and about 25 of those are patterns from blogs that I've tried to save to do later. But as you can see, I'm like up to my gills in whips, and so I'm never going to be able to do these patterns. So I just kind of want to put them all in one place so that I don't have to save everything that I might forget about and never do. So those were the whips that I have. Some of them are quicker than others. Some of them are patterns that I'm writing. And some of them are sentimental. Some of them are just fun. All of these different things. But I just, I think that, I really want to get some stuff done and, just kind of clear out things. I've been trying to sell a lot of finished products on Etsy for a long time, and very rarely do I sell something that's not a packer. Pretty much people only come to me for packers. So if I finish a project, I don't really know what to do with it because now I have this thing that's finished, granted, but I can't sell it. I can't like sometimes I give stuff away and gift things and stuff like that, but I don't know, like, I don't really know what I would do, what I would do with some of these things. So maybe when that time comes, I'll ask you all for some more help. But I hope you enjoyed today. You might have noticed that I changed my hair. Um, I removed all the synthetic hair out of my hair because I put it in specifically to go out to Pride, and then I ended up not going out yesterday just because it wasn't the day to go, and that was okay. So I hope you all have a great day, and I will talk to you later.